And thinking back to how I really used to cut, like, back in Detroit, I'd go into Detroit, rehearse with the band, go to New York, cut it, and hit the road. That was my whole life. That's how I cut records.
Right.
And I said, shit, that's great, because they just don't really cut records like that today.
Uh-huh.
He says, who gives a shit? Because that's the way I love to cut rock and roll, is live, hot, and let's get it down, you know. I don't spend a lot of money in studios. I really don't waste a lot of time. I don't like wasting time. I despise it in the studio. And those that do, it's okay with me. But, yeah, I do like it. I am a perfectionist. I like it as right as it can be. But anyway, I think it's more important to get the feel of it and sacrifice getting it absolutely precise, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyway, I said, well, shit, let's do it, man. I knew I had to do it because I was going to be gone for about 5 weeks. So I went in, and I heard, I can't remember if he told me, or I heard through the grapevine or someplace that told me that Bruce Springsteen, he played it for him, those 2 dubs. Springsteen said, go in and cut that Life Without You, you know, it's a killer. And I think that's what helped him make his mind, because he went to see Don Williams, and Don's the one that got a hold of my manager.
Ah, yeah.
And vice versa, the one all through all these chains. And so I said, okay, Tom, I'll meet you down there. And we recorded over at Leon Russell's studio. It's the only place we could get into. And
yeah, Paradise, right?
That's right, Paradise.
Yeah. Okay.
And he called me up, and we got together. I said, you want to get together? And he said, well, I'll meet you an hour before. So I went down and got in the car, played him the tapes, and I cut let's see, then I had Liar, Sucker for Your Love.
Right.
And I had, oh, I know. I didn't play him Never Stop Trying. I didn't think we'd have enough time to do it, and he wanted 3. I played him Life Without You, which he knew, and he said, that's the one we want to do. Life Without You, Liar. He loved Liar, and he said, let's go in and lay him down. He liked Sucker. So we hit it right off right away with just the tunes I had.
Great.
And then he worked out with the Heartbreakers. He ran the songs down, and I was just fiddling around. Then I put my earphones on. I think it was, I don't know what song it was, and I said, man, I'm in rock heaven. I said, my God, I'm in rock heaven. What a band. And it was really cooking and steaming, you know.
Whoa.
And so we stayed in the 3 days. I did the vocals, and that's all we did. We had no time to do anything else. I left for England, and they cut me some dubs. I waited till 4 in the morning. Someone took my keys home. I had to wait there, for God's sake, for 20 hours, it seemed. And I left the next day for England. And I had my little cassette tape with me.
Now, you didn't do Never Stop Trying at that session?
Oh, yeah, that's right, sorry. What I did is, with Never Stop Trying, I got in we were taking a break, and I always kind of liked the song. I didn't know if it was right. I didn't know, I knew he wanted some rockers, but I also knew that he liked ballads. So I played it for the Heartbreakers anyway, while we're on break, and they called Tom over, and they said, TP, you got to hear this song, man. And we got to slip this in, you know. So we slipped it in at the end of the session. I did a vocal on that. I did all the vocals on all those songs that night. Then I left for England.
Great.
And when I come back...
So you go over to England, you're over there 5 weeks with this tape.
Weeks.
Who'd you play it for? I mean, you must have been chomping at the bit to get back.
I was chomping at the bit, you know. I just played it for myself, mainly. Trying to think of instrumentals I was going to put in and all this stuff. Well, I came back... the only person I could play for really is the road manager and a few fans. I don't play my records too much anymore. I used to play for everybody years ago. I don't anymore.
Yeah.
I'm sort of starting enough. I've been in long enough so I believe in the things I'm doing now. If I'm not satisfied with them, then it's out. But the one I bounce back on is Dan, always.
Right.
He helps me immensely with my writing. He doesn't really write much with me at all, but I'll play him a line and say line's the worst, or we're knowing each other so long, he can say it's the lowest. I just do another line, you know, and fill that in. Fill that out, do a different bridge. So that's what I usually do. But anyway, when I got to, so Dan really does play an important part in my writing.
Sounds like it, yeah.
The bounce back, the feedback I get. I don't know what I'd do without him, man. So because I do write most of my songs myself today, but so what I did is I came back and he had slipped in the studio and put instrumental on A Sucker for Your Love, and he did one with Liar, and he put a couple little things, tasty, beautiful things in Never Stop Trying, and I liked the way he cut Never Stop Trying. At first I didn't like Never Stop Trying the way he was doing it. I wanted to do country. Well, he took me away from a lot of the country feel in that song. And now that I play it, now I know that it was so important that he was there, because it really makes it. You know, he had the drums loud, and it was great. You know, boom, 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 clash, and the kind of stuff I love, really.
Yeah.
But I had to get used to the change in when I was writing it. I wrote it sort of a country feel. And so when I got back, I played it, and I said, oh, my God, it scares me to death. It scares me. This instrumental in Sucker for Your Love scared me, because it just was so crazy and so insane. And I said, maybe it's a little too far off from my kind of record. I listened to it about 3 times. I played it for Dan. He said, are you kidding? It's unbelievable. Then I had to listen to it about 5 times. Today, it's my favorite instrumental, I think, in the whole record. That along with Liar, which I had no part of doing. I just hummed it. While we were cutting the tapes, I'd hum the instrumental, sort of.
Right.
But I really didn't hum any part of Sucker for Your Love. I really didn't do any of that. I just came back, and Mike had done it, and Tom, they worked it out.
Great.
And I was totally pleased with Liar's Break, you know, in the end. I had to get used to it, and I'm really glad I wasn't there when I did. I was there on all the other ones. But this one I wasn't there. I was really glad I wasn't, because those were the first songs I wrote, and I concentrated mostly on the words and getting it down. And then I was rushed in the studio. I had no time really to work up instrumentals.
Mm-hmm.
And they just took right over and did it, and I was really pleased they did. Really pleased.
Excellent.
I'm really glad. I'm just glad TP was there, you know. Somebody said once, is Tom Petty's fingerprints on your album? And I said, yeah, they're on it.
That's an interesting way to put it.
It is, yeah. And, of course, the Heartbreakers, you know, but for a producer, I hope I can use Tom again if he's not busy, or if we can ever get together again. Then I went to, I came back, and he was going to Australia. And it was in and out like that. We couldn't get back in the studio. I don't think we got back in. That's hard for me to know. I have to look at my list now, because I don't know, to bring you up to date live and on. Then I guess I went to Australia. He went to Australia. Then I went to Australia. I don't know if we recorded before then or after. No, we did.
Well, there was a May 1980 session at Cherokee.
Right. That's right. We went in this Cherokee.
Yeah. That's when you cut To Love Someone and
right.
Maybe Tomorrow.
All right. But there was one more, Out of Time. Wasn't that on there?
Out of Time. No, that was that was February '81, but at Cherokee.
Okay, there's another. We did about 4, I think.
Okay.
We did Maybe Tomorrow. I know we did that. Now it's coming more clear to me now.
Midnight Train.
That's it. Midnight Train.
Yeah, that was the session with Marty Gerard, right?
Right.
He told me about that at the time.
Right. We did that one, but maybe we only did 3.
Yeah, those are the only 3 that are on the album.
Okay, good. Well, we did those. And then I did the same thing again. I went down and I picked the 3 in my head that I liked.
Right.
And I went down and plugged in the tape, and he said, that's it, you know. And Out of Time, I think he said we'll save, you know. I said, fine, you know. I don't know which one he said we'd save. But anyway, we did those. And Maybe Tomorrow, we ran down about 3 times,